Hey fellow traders, hope you're having a good weekend. In this video, I'm going to show you the bias for the new week ahead and the key levels that you must focus on. So the goal of this video is to make sure that you do not buy into resistance or sell into support. Now, as always, I'm going to be using the MPE trading strategy to analyze the market. Now, if you are new subscriber to this channel or this is the first video you are watching, then please go grab this free day trading guide that we have prepared for you, because in this guide we do cover what the MPE trading strategy means. So basically the MPE strategy consists of 3 steps: the market condition, the price level, and the entry. So to understand our analysis, you need to understand that we are using this MPE trading strategy. So I will provide the link to this PDF in the description down below. It's totally free. There's no catch. You do not need to input your credit card. So please go get it and read it if you are new to this channel. Now, with that being said, let's go into this week's analysis and what we can expect. So as always, we start off with the Forex Factory Economic Calendar. So what do we see? We see that next week there is the RBA rate statement, there is the Fed Chair speak, and we have the NFP over here, which is the non-farm employment change. So it's going to be a very difficult week to trade. Now, if you've been following our channel for some time, you know that we always say that NFP is a week which is very whippy, it's very range bound. The market is very range bound. So with that being said, next week, do expect that the market is going to be very difficult to trade. So please try to avoid trading breakouts. Okay, if you really want to trade, either look for a range play or go towards a fake breakout. I think that's where you're going to get the highest probability setups. So we want to pay attention to the dollar and Aussie for next week. So now let's move into the charts. I want to start this analysis off with the DXY, which stands for the dollar index. Now, understanding the dollar index is very important because it tells us where USD is going to move, the direction of USD. And USD is the main currency. So if you know where US dollar is going to move, then you know what to do for a lot of the currency pairs like the Aussie dollar, Kiwi dollar, pound dollar, and so on and so forth. So right here, we have the dollar index. So I've plotted the levels out. Okay, so dollar index is kind of like in a range bound right now. In fact, it's very hard to trade because right here you can see that this is a left shoulder, this is a head, and this is a right shoulder, which is how I got this level over here. But on the flip side, on the bearish side, you do see that this is a left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. So right now, price is trapped between both shoulders, this right shoulder and this right shoulder. Thus, we have a range over here. Now, we don't usually trade directly into DXY. I don't personally trade into DXY by buying or selling DXY, but it's good to show us what we can expect. So right now, price is at resistance. So we want to avoid buying. So probably avoid buying dollar. So for example, like you don't want to be selling Aussie dollar, you don't want to be selling Euro dollar. Because when you sell Aussie dollar or Euro dollar, you're essentially buying USD. So these are the levels. Now, if this level is broken, then there's one more level over here, which is actually the swing high. Nothing too difficult to spot. So just take note of these key levels. Now, of course, if you want to sell dollar, then just wait for a candlestick pattern to form up here first on the DXY chart, and then go into currency pairs like the Euro dollar, pound dollar, and look for an entry setup using the MPE trading strategy. Remember, we need to do all 3 steps. We need to identify the market condition, the price level, and an entry. So right here we have Euro dollar. Now, Euro dollar on Thursday, it had a very nice spike over here. I think a lot of people got killed over here because it's quite nasty, and those people who place their stop loss above, or those people who chase the breakout, would have lost money. But notice that this is still a bullish structure because you have the left shoulder here, you have the head here, and then you have the right shoulder over here. And price is kind of like still in the uptrend because you have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low, and have a higher high over here. So right now, price is just retracing back into support. So please do not short this. Okay, look for longs. Right now, we do not have a entry candle. In the day trading guide, we talk about entry candles such as the hammer, shooting star, bullish engulfing, or bearish engulfing. Now, in this case, price closed directly at the level. So hopefully on Monday, we'll watch the market and see if we can get a nice candle close with a pin bar somewhere around here to take the long trade upwards. Something like this. Let me draw it. Just be careful to take your profit quickly and exit by here, because this is a very strong level. If you look over here, this is the previous resistance. This is resistance as well. And more importantly, there was a fake breakout over here. So just take note of these levels. The bias is bullish. Now, pound dollar. Pound dollar, as I mentioned last week in last week's market outlook video, this is a very clear bullish setup. You look at the trend, market condition is bullish. You have a high, low, higher high, higher low, and so on and so forth. So this is a clear uptrend, so please do not sell it. Now we are waiting for the market to retrace to a good level to buy. Last week, I mentioned that we were waiting for price to either come to this level or this level. Okay, price didn't do that. Price just went all the way up. So what happens on Friday and Thursday is that price started selling down. So potentially, we could have a setup where price retraces further down, somewhere to here, and we just look for an entry and take the trade whenever we see a bullish candlestick pattern. So this one, it will form all three criteria. Number one, market condition is bullish, so we want to buy. We have a key level, which is over here, 1.38547. And lastly, we just need an entry trigger at the level. Now, obviously, I can't show you the entry trigger because today is Sunday and the price is not moving. But I think you should get the idea that you want to look for a pattern over here. So let's move on into the dollar franc. Now, dollar franc, for last week's market outlook video, I plotted these levels, the blue levels over here. And you can see that price didn't actually retrace here. We talk about waiting over here patiently for price to retrace here and taking the long trade up. But price didn't do that. Price just went straight up from here. Now, price has broken above this swing high, and on Friday, it tested this support, or rather this resistance turn support nicely, and you have a very nice engulfing bar over here. So this could be a very good setup for Monday, because we are in a bullish trend. We have a high, we have a low, we have a higher high, and you have a higher low right here. And price has just closed above resistance and tested it as support. And more importantly, we have some distance to the next resistance level, which is given by this market structure over here. So we can look for a trade setup, something like this, on Monday. Something like this. So this is actually a setup that fulfills all three steps in the MPE trading strategy, because you have the market condition, you have the price level, and you have the entry. So if you see the market condition is bullish, the price level is 0.90398, which is the previous resistance and support. And lastly, you have an engulfing pattern of this level. So this is actually a good trade. You can go ahead and take it on Monday, and also a pretty decent risk to reward of 1:1.59. So do watch out for dollar franc. I think this is a very good trade to focus on. Then we have Aussie dollar. Now, Aussie dollar is a bit tricky. Personally, I would recommend you not to trade Aussie dollar if possible. So let me explain why. Now you can see that if you do the MP trading strategy, the first thing you look at is the market condition. And the market condition is clearly up because you have high, you have low, and you have a higher high, higher low, so on and so forth. So we want to be buying. However, look at what happened. Just a moment. Okay, look at what happened on Friday. So this was the prior resistance, which we expected to hold as support. But on Friday, there was a strong sell down and price just went back down. Okay, if you look here carefully, you kind of like have a left shoulder, a head, and potentially a right shoulder here. However, the issue with buying here is, let's say you want to buy here, which isn't wrong, you can buy here, but you might come into resistance over here, because this is a previous resistance, and also it will look something like left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. So if you want to take a trade here, which you can, just be mindful that there is resistance over here. If you can get in with a small stop loss and maybe, set in a trade, something like this, and take your profit here, so long as the risk to reward is still good, then you can go ahead and take the trade. But my personal advice would be not to trade this because it's a bit difficult and you are against this momentum down. So the bounce up might be big and there's not a lot of potential to make big money with this setup. So I would just avoid this. Now let's move into Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar is the same as Aussie dollar, same pattern. You have this resistance here and this resistance here. And on Friday, price just broke this entire resistance, which should act as support, but it didn't. So what I foresee is that price might retrace something like this and start selling down, something like this. Okay, but with that being said, that doesn't mean that you should go ahead to take this trade here. Okay, because remember again, the MP trading strategy, market condition, the market condition in the long run is bullish, right? You have the high, you have the low, you have the higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So there's really no reason for you to be selling, especially if you're a new trader, you're still struggling. Then there's no reason why you should go for the difficult trades. You should go for the easy trades. Now, if you were to draw a trend line here as well, you can see that price might also potentially come down a bit and then bounce back up. Something like this. So the best setup that I would recommend would be for you to do something like this. Let price break back above this resistance and then come back down. Let me show you. And then wait for price to retest this level with a candlestick pattern, and then you take the trade up and ride with the trend. Okay, not trade against the trend. Now, of course, price could also break downwards, which the next level will be this level over here. So if price breaks down, then you have this level here, which is kind of like the left shoulder, head, and right shoulder for the recent swing low. So if I will not get the opportunity to buy something like this, then I will look for a setup to buy at the bottom here, kind of like buying at the bottom of the range instead. Okay, I don't want to be buying somewhere here where there is resistance. So just be very careful of Kiwi dollar, and also because we have this event, so it might just be very weepy and price might not go anywhere until after the event. Okay, let's move on to dollar CAD. Dollar CAD long term is a downtrend. You can see this is a low, this is a high, lower low, lower high. So it's bearish. And last week I mentioned that we want to sell high, and we didn't get any setup until kind of like this week. The new trading week ahead, we might get a setup because price has started retracing and price is near this high over here. This high over here is actually a spike high here. And if you look at this candle as well, it's almost there. So this is a strong level. And ideally, I would like to wait for a candlestick pattern here. And then I'll take the short and I'll probably target this level here, which is the previous support. Okay, because this one will look like the left shoulder head, and this one will be the right shoulder if price were to retrace back that. So you just want to be a bit cautious, and if I short here, I want to be quick enough to take my profits. Other than that, I don't recommend buying because we're still in a downtrend, and you have another resistance over here. So if you buy, it's quite low probability, so just try to avoid that. Okay, dollar yen. Dollar yen is an uptrend, at least the immediate trend. Last week I spoke about it because you have the high here, you have the low, you have the higher high and higher low. So let me just plot that out. Okay, except that right now price is at 106.50 and it's in the middle of nowhere. So if you chase the market, you're not going to have much meat left because the next level is over here, which is the recent swing high here. Okay, so you can see very clearly this level here. And if you look, this was also support, resistance, and over here support. So this is the key level. So if you want to buy, just wait for price to retrace somewhere here, or just wait for it to come down lower. Please do not chase the market. This is very risky. Okay, and please also do not attempt to sell here. Okay, remember MPE, market condition. So if the market is in an uptrend, we should be looking to buy. So this is an uptrend. Please do not go counter trend and look for a setup to short here. Okay, this is a very low probability setup. Right, what price might do is it might just go all the way up. Okay, so please don't do that. Now moving on to gold. Okay, gold last week I was talking about buying off this level. Okay, we kind of had a setup over here, but it kind of failed because you can see that price eventually broke this support level over here. Now, what is the next level that we have? Once this level is broken, we actually have somewhere over here. Let me just plot it out. This is the next level that we want to trade at, but you can see it's some distance down. So ideally, we want to sell high. We don't want to be selling into support. So how do we do this? We just wait for retracement up into this level. And if you see a candlestick pattern over here, then you can go ahead and take the short and sell it down. Okay, but be patient, right? Do not force the trade. Wait for the market to retrace. So let's move into Euro Pound. So Euro Pound has been a currency pair that we've been focusing on because it's a very clear trade. It's a very clear bearish trend, and we have been trading this and we made quite good money in the past 2 weeks. So we still want to stick with selling Euro Pound, okay, because the trend is still down. MPE stands for market condition. It's bearish. We have the price level, which is over here, and now we need an entry. And actually on Friday, we got an entry, which is a shooting star. So if we go back to the day trading guide, you can see that it ticks all 3 conditions. Market condition is bearish. We have the price level and we have the candlestick pattern, which is a shooting star over here. Now, just be careful if you short it on Monday, because if you were to calculate the risk to reward, and let's say you take it here and put your stop loss somewhere above and target this one over here, what happens is that your risk to reward is very little. It's very small. It's not that attractive. So I would advise to just wait, try to be patient and see if you could just get a slight retracement higher, so that if you enter something like this, then at least you get a risk to reward of 1:1.35, which is a bit better. Okay, the higher you can get, the better it is. If perhaps, in H4, you are able to get it somewhere over here, then it's even better because your risk to reward is going to be much higher. Okay, so just be patient. Please do not jump the gun, because the risk to reward is not good. And so one more level to watch out for is this lower level here, which is 0.8536, which is over here. This swing high here, which acted as support here as well. So just be wary of that. Don't worry, I will be sending out this signal on the Telegram channel as well. So if you have not yet joined the free Telegram channel, please go do that, because we send our signals in real time and tell you whether there's a trade opportunity. Okay, we give you a stop loss, the entry, and the take profits. Now moving on to the last currency pair, which is Pound Yen. Okay, last week we didn't do this, but I think there's a lot of people requesting this, so I decided to do this as well. Now, Pound Yen has been moving up for a long time. Okay, you can see that it's been trending up since over here, since last year, March. It's been going all the way up, and now it feels a little high. Okay, so I don't recommend going counter trend and selling, even though it's at resistance, but I just want you to be, aware that there is a zone of resistance over here. So if you were to look back over here, you can see that there's an entire zone of resistance over here. So right now, price is very high. Okay, I'm not saying that you should take a short trade, right? Because we are sticking to the NP trading strategy and we want to follow the trend. But what I'm trying to say is that if you are having a position right now, if you are holding a trade and it's in profit, please look to lock your profits, okay? And please avoid buying into resistance, okay? Now we are at a very strong level. In fact, if we were to change to the weekly chart, I think you can see it very clear. So this entire zone here is a very strong zone. And on Friday's close, the candle is like this. The weekly close, it looks like this, and it kind of looks a bit like a pin bar. So just be cautious of this. Please avoid buying here. Okay, you want to sell, it's up to you, though I don't recommend. Okay, so that's it for this video, right? I hope you got value. If there's any other currency pairs that you want me to cover, please leave a comment down below. Let me know. Okay, I do read the comments. My team do monitor it. Okay, and also please get a day trading guide if you have not already done so. Okay, I look forward to seeing you in the Telegram channel, and I hope that you make money together with us in this new trading week. See you in the next video.